Farm Guy here with a new mod test for Farming Simulator 22, and this is the John Deere 1775 NT 2018 by JHHG Modding. This is 31.77 megabytes to download and 28 slots on console. Now, it is a planter. If this looks familiar to you, well, it should, because if we go look at tools and planters and scroll over to the side here, well, what you have here is a base game 1775 NT, but this is a modified version of that, or at least a very closely modified version of it. And as you can see, the specifications are exactly the same except for a couple of things. 3524, this one starts at 4581 for seeds only, so it carries a little bit more seeds, and it is a bit heavier, but 17.8 meter spread, 17.8, so it's based on the same model. It's just, well, it's modified, and we will see all of that. 9 mile per hour working speed, seed and fertilizer options, and as you note here, the price is quite a bit less. Now if we pop in there, let's have a look at it. If we go to just take everything off, so we have zeroed everything, the standard as it sits is 4,581 liters of seed, 8 tons, 340 horsepower required, 17.8 meter spread at 9 miles per hour. Right. 192,690 is the price tag. Now, if we look at tanks and configurations, the top choice, we can go with a liquid fertilizer tank, which adds, I believe, 600 liters? 6, no more than 600 liters. It adds quite a bit. We will see that when we go out to test. So that's $5,900. So that's, you can add the tank. And that changes a few of your options too when you add a tank. Just so you know. Wheel setup, we get your standard wheels, or we can get a crawler track for $55,000. So we're gonna rack up this one with all the options and show you what it'll end up to for price. Gauge wheels, we've got standard or spoke. So now, just to be clear, we go back here. As it sits like this, fertilizer and seeds, it will work the same, exactly the same as anything beyond this that I do to it. So the gauge wheels, the fertilizer openers, the drag chains and attachers. There is an attacher too, by the way, but none of the rest of the things that I'm going to talk about is going to affect how this operates, just so you know. So if you don't want anything else, it will work just fine with the added front liquid fertilizer tank, and now we have seed and fertilizer, right? Okay, so having said that, moving on. Wheel setup, crawler track, looks very cool. Gauge wheels, you can change it to spoked. Standard, spoked. They kind of change. I can't get into if you can see that there's a difference. There we go. $6,800 for that. GPS, which does absolutely nothing, at least on console. But if you want to add it, that'll add $5,700. Liquid fertilizer openers. Yes or no? Those will appear underneath. Those as well do absolutely nothing except look pretty. $11,470. Cleaner disc configuration, no. Or Yetter air adjust or narrow floating. Let's go with the narrow floating. Oh, come on, there we go. Narrow floating for $26,000. As you can see, it has added some doohickeys there. Again, does absolutely nothing. Drag chains, yes or no? It adds chains. Drag chains, $1,104, does absolutely nothing. Attachers, this is interesting. At the back, you can add a hitch. There it is, pops up. Let's see if we can see it here. There we go, hitch at the back. That's useful. $729. You can pull a tank or a trailer or something behind you to increase your capacity for fertilizer whatsoever, and license plate, you can have any one of those and it'll add it to the back. Okay, there it is. So let's buy that. $306,000 compared to the $234 for the standard one. Of course, now mind you, the even if you buy the fertilizer tank, it's still less than the base game one. So just so you know there. So here's the all tricked out one with all the bells, the whistles, and the doohickeys. And the only thing that this one does any different from this one is that it adds liquid fertilizer and has a hitch. We're going to test out the hitch. Looks like a pin hitch to me, but it could be pin or ball. So let's jump in and let's before I forget, let's test the hitch. Now, while we're talking here, we have two of them in the field testing right now. So no worries there. We're going to go watch them in action. There are a couple of things we need to look at before we go out there. And there we go. We have hooked this up. Now let's just check out the hitch. It's a bit of a long fella here, so let's just back it up. Back it up. Oh, terrible angle for camera. There. So we have pin hitch confirmed. And if we have a ball hitch, that opens up the playing field. But yes, okay, so excellent. Pin hitch or ball hitch, that leaves the field wide open for whatever you want to hook behind that. And literally anything will hook up to that now, ball or pin hitch. Now, how do you open it up? L1 and X. Now, pay attention here because you might think, well, it's not working because it is quite slow opening, L1 and X. And as it's opening, I will probably talk about some of the other things. We have ridge markers and open the cover. While it's opening here, we can show you L1 and left on your D-pad opens the cover. Now that will open the cover for seeds and for the liquid fertilizer if you're filling it from, say, a buy anything point. R1, L1, R1, we probably want to look at some lights, signals. We have signals, no beacons. And there we go. So it is almost finally unfolded here. I think we're done. Yes. So L1 ridge markers, L1 and up, ridge markers. L1 and left, close the cover again. And then we can, then you can of course choose your seed and so forth. So let's fold it up again. I will show you filling. We'll fill it up. We'll open the tanks. We'll just back up to this buy anything silo. And we should be able to fill up, and I will show you the capacities as shown on the bottom there for what it holds. There we go. There we go. We got the seeds, 4,581 liters as expected. And we should be able to, there we go, and 2,271 liters of liquid fertilizer. Right, so let's hop over to this one. So here's our tricked out one, all tricked out with every option and every little detail, etc., etc. And he's going along happily, seeding corn here. And a very nice animation on the seeder planter, I guess, planter. Looks like there's a tad bit of overlap, but nothing crazy. And it could be just a little bit of the animation of the field, but not terrible, and it's not missing anything, so that's a bonus. I'd rather it overlap a little bit than miss. And the turnaround, we're going to just watch him turn around. This is the plain Jane no fertilizer, just seed, no extra fancy dancy stuff at all. And he is planting seeds or planting corn just as fine, although without fertilizer. And the turnaround is quite efficient. This is a base game John Deere tractor to, what is it? What did I get? The tractor, 352 horsepower. So a little bit more than the recommended 340. And as you can see, it's right up to the 9, well, a little over 9 miles per hour. It's actually a little over 10, going about 10 miles per hour working speed. So that's very nice. And as you can see here, there's still nice action on the individual planting units. Very nice. And that is all there is to that. Very nice working. Works very good. Good capacities on the seed and fertilizer, as well as a hitch to a trail. Say you want a fertilizer tank, liquid fertilizer, or seed, or whatever you may want to trail behind it, because it will hook to either ball or pin hitch. And that's the John Deere 1775 NT 2018 by JHHG Modding, 31.77 megabytes to download and 28 slots on console. I'm Looney Farm Guy. Thank you for watching, and remember, it's only a game, so till next time, bye for now.